Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is in your part of the world as I'm posting this. I'm posting this where I am in time for August 21st, but depending on where you are, August 21st may have already come and gone. So we're setting the intention that this be a message for you for the next 24 hours whenever you happen to see it. I mean, you might see the video in a few weeks, a few months, a year from now. We're setting the intention for a message for the next 24 hours. So let's see what we have coming up here, my darlings. We have Seven of Cups. So Seven of Cups is a really powerful card, you guys. It's oftentimes seen as a card where we might have options or there may be some confusion. We're not sure which direction to go in. We're not sure which path to choose. A lot of the times I feel like the reason why people have a hard time making a choice is because something happens in our life that makes us think that we want stupid things. And it can be so simple. Like it could be in childhood, mom, dad, auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa, whoever, buy me this toy or buy me this cereal. And they're like, no, put that away. I'm not spending my money on that garbage. And then you're like, oh, okay, I guess I like garbage. And then you get older, and what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a painter. Oh, no, don't be a painter. You won't make any money. You should be a doctor. You should be a scientist, whatever. And you're like, oh, okay, yet again, I'm making the wrong choice, or I'm wanting the wrong thing. And so there could have been just things that happened in our life that make us think that we're not going to make good decisions, or that we want things that are frivolous, or we want things that are stupid or garbage. And so the first thing to get unstuck in making a decision is to give yourself permission to want what you want. And I'll let you sit with that and I'll let you meditate on that. But the Seven of Cups can come up when we have more than one direction we can go in. And it's actually positive, because another way that I see this come up is sometimes we feel stuck in life because we feel so trapped. We feel like there's just no choices, there's no options. But the daily cards, the card of the day, if we look back on the cards that have been coming up, a lot of you are going through a really significant process right now. Ace of Swords came up a few days ago, and I've said this before. Ace of Swords is the crown chakra clearing. You're clearing away limited thinking. You're clearing away low self-esteem. You're clearing away false beliefs, and you're starting to see solutions. You're starting to see options. You're starting to see, oh, I could do this or I could do that. And now we start to feel stuck, because now it's like, well, before I felt stuck because there were no choices. Now I feel stuck because I don't know which door to pick. Yesterday's card of the day was a death card. Something is coming to an end, the end of an era, the end of a chapter. And so now it's just kind of like the sky's the limit. Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? And that can be really, really intimidating. One thing that I have found that has helped me is I just kind of try to write down the different possibilities. I try to write down the different options. And I envision in my mind one by one, how do I feel in that scenario? I daydream it. I see it in my mind and I act as if I'm there having made that decision. And I pay attention to the feelings that I feel when I'm seeing it in my mind. And I encourage you to do the same. Pay attention to the feelings that you feel. Which instances are giving you a sense of happiness, are giving you like a sense of joy, like which circumstances are really resonating with your spirit. Pay attention to that. Write it down. Once you do this, now you know your shorter list here of, these are the things that make me happy. These are the things that give me a sense of like, I look forward to that reality. I look forward to that future. Well, now that you have that written down, do a little bit of research. What do I need to do to make this happen? What are steps I need to take? How much time might it take? How might I come up with the resources? How can I go about making this happen? Right? Like how do I get going on this? Once you do that, it's going to be super clear for you which ones are the short-term goals, like, oh, I can do that right now, and which ones are going to be the things that you might say, okay, well, that might take a little bit of time, so I'm going to build up to that over time. I'm going to start with the easier stuff that I can do now, and I'm going to build my way up to the bigger stuff, or like the more long-term stuff. And now not only are you not stuck, you have a very clear plan, maybe going into the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years, or whenever, however long. Now you have a long-term plan, instead of being in this energy where we're waiting for the universe to just kind of blow us this way or that way. And there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. Sometimes some people choose to have that experience where they just want to live a life of non attachment and just kind of drift from experience to experience. And if that is fulfilling to someone, and if they enjoy living life that way, there's nothing wrong with that. But oftentimes, a lot of people, as a reader, something that I can tell you, people coming to me for readings over the years, most people seem to be looking for stability. Most people seem to be looking for security. They want to lay down their roots. And they come to me and they say, where am I going to lay down my roots? How am I going to make this happen? When is it going to happen? Right? And we need to start making conscious decisions that this is what I want. This is what I'm going for. This is what I'm creating. This is what I'm manifesting. We need to choose the door. But because we think that we're going to choose bad, or that we're stupid in some way, we need permission, we wait for the universe to give us permission. We wait for our angels and guides to say, okay, well, this is your door. We've talked about free will in previous videos, right? In some instances, our angels and guides can't tell us, okay, it's this door, because we have free will as human beings. So it's coming into a time of making choices or decisions here for some of you. I do feel here this little ghost cup is really jumping out at me. I feel some of you may be hesitating to move forward, because even though we had the death card come up previously, or yesterday I should say, it was very recently, I feel some of you may have a lingering doubt of like, but what if that circumstance changes, or what if I might want to go back to that other thing later. Two things to help you with this decision. First and foremost, I feel like with this ghost cup standing out at me, the message here is that this thing is an illusion. It never really existed. So someone was pretending to be somebody that they weren't, or we had built up an illusion of them in our head and they really weren't that person. Okay? And that's where the conflict came, that's where the divide came. We're waiting for them to be that person, and they're not being that person. And so I feel some of you may be holding out for something that was an illusion, that's not going to materialize. So that way it's okay to say, all right, I'm going to close the door on that. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move forward. Okay. The second thing here that might help make the decision easier in choosing and not being in this limbo is that you have the right to change your mind. That is powerful when you realize this. You have the right to change your mind. That's what free will is about. So sometimes it can be scary to say, well, I don't know if I want to do this because I don't know if I can do it forever. But you don't have to do it forever. You can change course. You can do something else. If the time for that, if the season for that comes to a close and it's a new season and it's time for something else, you have the right to do that. And sometimes that can take the pressure off of us when it comes to making a decision, is to remind ourselves that this feels right for me in this moment. It feels right for me right now. That could change in the future. And if that changes in the future, that's okay. I have the right to change my mind. So I hope that's helpful, my dears. I'd encourage you to check out the weekly forecasts if you haven't already. They are going to be popping up. I'm waiting for the clearances to come through so that I can make the videos public. So you'll be seeing them. You'll be seeing them popping up. Love readings for August and September are both linked in the description of the video. Be sure to check those out, those of you interested in love and romance. And if you'd like to schedule a private reading with me, there's a link in the description of the video that will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you will be able to schedule a private reading with me there. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a fabulous, fabulous day ahead, and we'll see you in tomorrow's message. Take care and be well.